Hey, what's good? Welcome to Theme Park ERT, your exclusive source for behind-the-scenes interviews with some of the biggest names in theme park and coaster enthusiast community. And today is no different. We have a very special guest who all the way from the UK. It is Shawn from Theme Park Worldwide. Shawn, thank you so much for coming today. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. It's great to be back here at Six Flags Magic Mountain. I mean, I first came to this park back in 2015, and it's great to get here, see the new additions, West Coast Racers, get on Revolution for the first time. Yes. I mean, when I was here last, that was closed. And just getting to experience the park when it's much quieter. When I was here last time, it was very, very busy. So it's been great to take it a bit more chill, a bit more relaxed, and really soak up the atmosphere from the park.
Absolutely. We ordered a beautiful weekend for you to come back.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. So Theme Park Worldwide, tell us a little bit about your channel.
So the channel actually originally started under a different name, and that was Sandbrook Productions. So it was my last name and Productions on the end of it. And that actually started way back in 2008.
Oh, wow.
Now, when it got to the end of 2011, that was sort of a turning point for me where I thought I really want to expand my YouTube channel. Sandbrook Productions had reached about 5,000 subscribers, and at that point with YouTube, you couldn't actually change your name of your channel. You had to just start afresh. So me wanting to rebrand the channel and change my name to Theme Park Worldwide, I had to create a new channel. So I took the risk. In winter of 2011, I said on Sandbrook Productions, that's it, from 2012, there's going to be this new channel called Theme Park Worldwide, and I created the account in December 2011, uploaded the first couple of videos there, and it was a risk because it took time to get them people back and think, like, people thought, what are you doing, like, doing this? And then obviously I was starting to get a bit thinking, I don't know if this is going to work. Have I made the right decision or not? I kept my old channel on there, and it's still on there now under a new name, Adventure Shawn, and I kind of brought that back, doing non-theme park content. But yeah, with Theme Park Worldwide, I made that move, and then eventually as the season started to kick in, and I was doing a lot of Alton Towers videos with my local park in the UK. I'm 10 minutes from Alton Towers, so much like yourself to here, you know, it's a local park, you go all the time, and know a lot about it. And then the channel just started to really expand from that point, mostly focusing on UK parks. I did a lot of trips to Disneyland Paris, Portaventura in Spain, and that's the point where the channel really started to get more of an international following.
So did you always intend to have it be worldwide? Because when you chose the name Worldwide, was that the bigger picture?
That was the intention. Like, to come to parks like this was a dream for me. Like, when I was a kid, I used to read a lot of roller coaster books, and you know, like, the internet wasn't as big as what it is today. Like YouTube, for example, didn't exist. And I'd read a lot of like roller coaster books and look at pictures of rides, and it would fascinate me, along with my parents that were the big influence taking me to a lot of different theme parks, especially in the UK and around Europe. That's what led me to the point of thinking, you know what, I want to share this passion with people and share it on YouTube. But yeah, that was the thing. I thought, you know what, I'm going to make this worldwide and try and see as many places as I could do, and let's just say, you know, 7 years on, it's certainly succeeded with that.
So speaking of worldwide, where have you been so far?
A lot of places. Like last year we did a huge America road trip. We took a little bit too much on. I've spoke all about that on the channel. But we did so much. We did lots of different parks, 20 parks actually across the States. It was amazing to do that. Some of the big names, some that I'd done before, but also getting to some big names that I'd always wanted to visit. They were childhood dreams for me, going to them parks, and to see them was fascinating. It really was. Along with that, I've done some of the parks out in Asia, some of the parks in Tokyo, like Fuji-Q Highland. I mean, that's an amazing park to get to. The location of that park is unreal. Like, the fact that you've got this volcano next to the park is incredible. Along with that as well, out in Asia, done some parks around Shanghai, Happy Valley, Shanghai Disneyland, done Hong Kong Ocean Park. I mean, again, the location of that is absolutely gorgeous. It's all in the hills. It's got like a cable car there that takes you up. Incredible. Out into Dubai, done all the parks out in Dubai out there, including the world's fastest roller coaster, of course, Formula Rossa, at 149 miles per hour. Incredible ride. Like, there's nothing else like sitting on the front row of that and in the middle of the desert and experiencing it. But a lot of places, of course, most places around Europe I've been to now, most of the major parks, but there's still some like mid-range parks to smaller parks that I need to cover in Europe, and that's the plan throughout 2020. There's some still bucket list parks for me to go to, mostly around Denmark. That's an area that I really haven't covered. So yeah, it's much closer to home. Time to really think about those and get some of those parks in.
Right, speaking about the dynamics between all the different places in the world, you touched on it a little bit, but can you give me the big differences between some of the different parks, say like the parks in Asia versus the parks in the US? Like what would you say are the main kind of takeaways from that?
A big thing is operations and the overall feel of the park that's very different. I mean, for example, out in China at the Happy Valley Park in Shanghai, you actually have to do exercises, and that was the case at some of the rides in Japan. But you have to do like warm-up exercises to go on the rides. Like that's something that if it happened in the UK or in the US, people would be like, what's going on? Like it's
get out of line.
Yeah, like it's just completely different. You'd have security coming over, like what's happening? So yeah, it's just more things like that. You know, obviously it slows down the operations because of stuff like that, and just the culture, like cultural changes in between the different countries. But that's what really makes it. That's what's nice about going to these parks around the world, seeing the changes in the parks, and not just the parks, outside the parks, and really seeing the local area as well.
Taking in the culture. I think that's one of the greatest things that as a fan of your channel, that I like to watch is just seeing how the different parks operate, and also just experiencing it through your eyes, and how you're really good at explaining what's going on and knowing the rides. I mean, not only are you very savvy enthusiast, you know all the stats and things like that, but what's more important, at least in my opinion, is seeing the joy in your face when you get off a ride that you really like. Yeah. And you've said many times before, you're more of a theme park enthusiast, or I should say you're a theme park enthusiast first,
yes,
and then roller coaster enthusiast second. So as far as that goes, what has been the biggest impression from a park that you've had so far?
In terms of an overall theme park experience, it's got to be Tokyo Disney Sea over in Japan. I mean, that place is absolutely outstanding. The overall theming of that park is incredible. In terms of coasters, it's not got much at all. Like, it's got a real poor coaster offering in that park, but it doesn't need it. It's the experience, it's the dark rides, it's the storytelling that really makes it. And I think that's only something what Disney can do in their parks, to be honest. But seeing that at Tokyo Disney Sea was amazing. But likewise, I feel like a lot of European dark rides, the stuff like Symbolica at F-Telling and other rides at that park that shine above anything else. Like, they are Disney quality rides, what aren't in a Disney park. So, but that's the thing for me, like you touched on, just I'd take a good dark ride over a lot of coasters, and that's just me. I like the full experience.
Absolutely. And now to get a little bit about flexing your stats. Give us your stats. How many subscribers do you got on YouTube?
So the channel at the moment's got 208,000 subscribers, which is crazy. And I just want to say thank you to everyone who checks out the channel and subscribed. I really appreciate it. And like I say, for growing YouTube, you just got to put so much time into it and dedication, and the key to it is being natural, and that's what I've always tried to do. If we have a bad day at a park, people know we've had a bad day at a park. Like, I would never try and cover something up, you know, and I like to keep everything as natural and as we can do. Like, if it rains in a park, it rains. That's the end of the day, sort of thing, you know. Yeah, that's the thing. So yeah, 208,000 subscribers on the channel. Obviously, we launched in 2012 under Theme Park Worldwide. Over 40,000 followers on Instagram now. The Twitter accounts, nearly 18,000. Facebook, 30,000. So it's a lot of people. It really is, and we've got a lot of reach around the world now. The UK is still the biggest sort of fan base behind the channel, followed by the US and then the Netherlands. So they're like the three sort of top countries that enjoy watching theme park.
Well, got it. How many coaster credits have you got?
So I'm currently on over 1,060. So my 1,000th coaster was at Dollywood, and that was Lightning Rod. And it was fantastic to get on such a big coaster for that 1,000th credit. It didn't quite live up to what I was hoping for. Mm-hmm. I enjoyed it, I thought it was a great ride, but it certainly wasn't one of my favourites that I did. And I think the fact that it was mixed with tiredness from the big trip that we did, and just the overall, I was exhausted at that point. So maybe if I went back to Dollywood in the future, like I'm sure I will do, I might enjoy it more. But it'll always be a special ride to me for being that 1,000th coaster.
And so, can you say what your favorite ride is? Maybe we'll break it down. What's your favorite overall ride ever, and then maybe your favorite coaster?
It's really tough.
Give us your top three.
Yeah.
In no particular
I'm really
order.
sure this is why I don't really do that many top 10 videos or anything. We're going to struggle to decide. My opinions change from vlog to vlog.
How about today, after visiting Magic Mountain for a second day?
In terms of Magic Mountain, Superman. Like, I love Superman to bits. You know, I think it's an incredible ride. I mean, in the backdrop there, it's a gorgeous ride. It really is. But there's so many other big coasters at this park, like X2, that really stand out, but there's just something about Superman for me. In general, Steel Vengeance, of course, the RMC coaster, Cedar Point, that is my top coaster by a significant amount. Like, the amount of airtime on that ride just did it for me and sealed the deal. I think it's an incredible coaster. The design of it, I think, is incredible, and it's just the overall walking into that area, going back to the more experience side of theme parks. It's walking into that area and seeing all that frontier theme and all the Wild West buildings, and then turning the corner, seeing that entrance sign with all the rocks on there. And the coaster, it's just amazing. It's amazing to look at. It feels a lot taller than 200 feet, it really does. But what an incredible ride. So in terms of dark rides, that changes daily, right? Honestly, symbolic at F-Tang, I love, of course, the Disney dark rides are incredible. I love some of my classic Disney dark rides, which is Haunted Mansion, Pirates of the Caribbean. But yeah, it changes daily. But I always say appreciate each ride and each park for what it is. Especially when you've been to the stage where you've been to, I think, over 180 theme parks or something I've been to now. When you've been to that many and you've done over 1,000 coasters, you really have to not compare things so much and just enjoy each thing for what it is. Like if I go to a park and it's got one kid's coaster and a few flats, I wouldn't review that the same as a park that I went to, like this. Like you've got to think of it, it's an independent park versus a major company, and really start to break it down like that, in my opinion.
Well, you can go to a smaller park and have just as fun if you go in with the right attitude and the right perspective.
Some of the best days I've had have been at smaller amusement parks, especially in the US. Actually, I really like sort of like boardwalk parks and that sort of stuff.
That being said, what's like one of the moments that you can remember that was one of the biggest surprises at a theme park that you've ever had?
Oh, that's a really good question. I mean, for me, I'm going to go back to sort of the trip to Cedar Point when I first went there 2 years ago now. I mean, that was a big bucket list for me. My two big bucket list parks in America were where we're standing right now and Cedar Point. And going to Cedar, like, I just didn't know what to expect. I thought with Cedar, it was going to be more of a, yes, it is an amusement park. However, it'd just be a lot of big coasters and nothing else. But Cedar Point really surprised me at how much else there is. And when I first went, I actually did a vlog all about what there is away from the big coasters. There's so much there, like entertainment, flat rides, just the overall feel of the park. So I'd say Cedar Point was a shock to me in terms of it feels more of a theme park resort than it does an amusement park. And I know technically it is an amusement park, but just the feel of it. So I'd say that's one of my biggest sort of shocks really about going to a park. I thought it'd be a lot of just concrete floors and big coasters, but actually there's some really nice areas, and having like all the beach area around Lake Erie, and that really made it for me. But there's so many, but that's one that comes straight into my head, for me.
The thing that I noticed about, that I thought was really interesting about Cedar Point is they have that museum that has all that interesting history in there. And speaking of that, didn't you work at Alton Towers in a similar situation?
Yeah.
Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I worked at Alton Towers for 7 years. I did rides, I worked in the hotels for a little bit, I worked on the entrance turnstiles for the majority of my time. But I also did a lot of like extra things as well because of my passion for the park and theme parks. And the management there knew of that. And I actually was part of the team looking after the archives, and I had a big sort of push when I worked there to completely sort out all of the archives, so all the history behind the park, all the original plans for rides. I was looking through the plans for Nemesis and looking at all that stuff, and from that through to merchandise and seeing all the commercial side to it. But yeah, that was an amazing part of my time there. I feel like talking about Alton Towers more in terms of the park, I think when you work somewhere, you see things in a different light, and it was fantastic to work there. I really enjoyed it. As changes were made, it was time for me to move on and do other things. But I've got a lot of respect for Alton Towers and the people there. A lot of the people there really try the best with the park to make it something spectacular, and hopefully it's got a bright future.
So now that you're here in California, what else are your plans while you're here? I know you've done Magic Mountain for 2 days.
Yeah, so that was the start of the trip.
Right.
Straight here to Magic Mountain.
What's next?
So no sleep, that's what's next tonight. So we're actually heading to Disneyland tomorrow for the opening day of Rise of Resistance, and so I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully we're going to get to ride it, but we'll see what happens. I'm actually doing 5 days across both the Disney parks. I love Disney parks. I can just walk around there. I don't even need to go on attractions. Just taking in the atmosphere of it all, seeing the shows, entertainment, that's what really makes it. So we've got 5 days to enjoy both Disneyland and California Adventure. Going to be going to Knott's Berry Farm. I've only been there once. I've had 1 day there when I first came here in 2015. I've never been on Ghost Rider. It was shut for the GCI retrack, so I'm looking forward to riding that for the first time this week, and also Hang Time. Yeah, because you don't really have loads of Gerstlauer coasters in America. There's not loads, is there? So it's nice to see. I'm looking forward to giving that a go. Is it a dive coaster? I wouldn't class it as one, but I'm looking forward to giving it a go.
Here, folks. Theme Park ERT, controversial.
There you go.
Is it a dive coaster? Let us know in the comments.
SeaWorld San Diego, that's a dive coaster.
There you go.
But and along with that as well, Universal Studios Hollywood. So going there, hopefully going to get on Jurassic World. I think it's been up and down down a little bit, but hopefully going to get that in. Just seeing the park again. I know it's not a huge park, but I love the studio tour. Fascinating. Like, I love that, all the real set pieces and stuff, and of course just seeing the park again for the first time, and yeah, all the changes. The Wisdom World, that wasn't there last time, so missed that by a matter of a few weeks. I think it was all under construction, so yeah, it's going to be great. I love California. Like, it's my favourite state in America, actually.
Good.
I'm not just saying that like because you're from here. Like, honestly, I love it. I really like visiting here.
Well, we're glad you're here, and you're going to ride Rise of the Resistance as well, right?
Hopefully so.
Do we have a new #1 dark ride?
Maybe.
I mean, need to be worried.
It looks absolutely amazing. People who watch the channel will know that I'm not a massive Star Wars fan. However, Smuggler's Run blew me away when I did it at Hollywood Studios. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. Fingers crossed.
All right. Well, hey, Shawn, thank you so much for taking the second to be on location with us here at Magic Mountain. It's a little bit different outside of the studio, but we'd love to grab you. We'd love to have you on the show. Well, hope you enjoy the rest of your day at Magic Mountain and the rest of your trip in Southern California. And we appreciate you coming on the show. I've been the ambassador. Thank you so much. This is Theme Park ERT, and we'd like to thank Theme Park Worldwide. Why don't you throw out your stats there? I mean, your social media.
Yes, definitely. Give us a follow, of course, on YouTube, Theme Park Worldwide. Follow us on Twitter at Theme Park WW. You also follow us on Instagram. Just search Theme Park Worldwide, and it's the same over on Facebook.
This has been the ambassador, and this has been your Theme Park ERT.